Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have with us Sara Nay, CEO at Duct Tape Marketing, and we learn from her about how small business owners can align their goals, team, and message to scale smartly and sustainably. We learn about strategy first thinking, how it can drive real growth and lasting impact. Welcome to the show, Sara.
Thank you for having me on.
You are welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to India in this online form, Sara. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll be learning about strategy, scaling, and also small business growth. We'll learn all about this. But before that, let's learn a bit about your background, your journey, so that the audience knows who they are listening to.
Of course. So as you mentioned, Sara Nay, I'm the CEO at Duct Tape Marketing. We've been in business for about 30 years as a marketing agency. I've been with the company for about 15 now. I actually started as an intern and worked my way up through all the different areas of the business. So I was in community management, client accounts, operations, sales, and now last December, I recently stepped into the seat as CEO.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you talk about strategy before tactics and technology, especially from small businesses point of view. If you can tell us why what do you mean by this? How should a small business understand about this?
Of course. So we've been saying strategy before tactics for about 30 years, as long as we've been in business. And so the belief there is that before you dive into any marketing tactics, any execution, you need to take a step back and you need to evaluate your marketing strategy. And so for us, marketing strategy is essentially, who are you targeting? With what message? How are you going to guide them effectively on a customer journey? What content do you need to create based on that? And then put it all into an execution calendar. And so that work then allows you to be a lot more effective with your marketing, because you're not ultimately just playing a guessing game. Over the last couple of years, as you mentioned, we've shifted a bit to saying strategy before tactics and technology, because as you're aware, AI is here and it's here to stay. And so right now I see a lot of small businesses just diving into AI. We're going to do this with execution. We're going to do this with this technology, but they're not taking a step back and understand, like, what are we actually trying to accomplish from a marketing strategy standpoint? And can then these AI tools help us accomplish what we're trying to accomplish? And so I think it's more important more now than ever is before you think about any tactics or any technology that you're going to bring to your company in the form of execution, you really need to have a solid strategy in place. Because if you haven't nailed things like your target market or what message resonates with them, you're basically going to be creating more noise using different AI tools. And so you need to nail things like that to then actually be able to bring in this technology effectively.
Absolutely. So how does one get started? See, strategy, isn't this a very obvious thing that first you have to think what you want to do, where you want to achieve, go, who you want to target, and all these things. But when you talk about strategy, is it different than others that are talking? Doesn't everyone think before they put any money into marketing? Marketing strategy, is it a strategy? Marketing itself is a strategy in itself. So help us understand, when you talk about strategy, what is this strategy all about? Is that a special sort of a thinking that is required? Help us understand. Everyone talks about, customer journey, hero's journey, buyer journey, every journey. From that point of view, especially for a small business.
Yeah. So unfortunately, a lot of small businesses think of strategy as a list of tactics. Like, these are all the things we want to accomplish this next quarter. And that's their strategy. Strategy needs to be a lot more comprehensive than that. And so we have something called the marketing strategy pyramid. And so for us, like, the bottom of our pyramid is business strategy. And so you really need to understand what's the business trying to accomplish, what's their vision, what's their mission, what do they want to accomplish in the next 1-3 years, how do they want to be known. And so that's where a lot of people, when they start working on like a marketing strategy, they don't take that step back and say, okay, wait, how does this actually relate to what the business is working on accomplishing? And so the bottom of our pyramid is business. And then the middle of our pyramid is the marketing strategy piece. And in marketing strategy, you really need to look at how are you going to grow, but also how are you going to retain clients long term as well, and really take care of your customers. And then the very top part of our strategy is team. And so once you've created the business strategy, the marketing strategy, then you can think through, like, who do we need on our team in form of humans and AI solutions to actually help bring all of this to life. And so again, I've been doing this for about 15 years in the small business space. What I've uncovered is a lot of people think that they have a strategy in place, and maybe they've thought through like their target market and their customer journey, but it's a lot more comprehensive than that. Those are two key pieces, but it's not all that strategy needs to entail. You really have to have those different layers: the business strategy, the comprehensive marketing strategy, and the team strategy, all working together and supporting the same goals to be effective in your marketing moving forward.
Right, Sara. Let's understand it this way. Every company, small or big, they do have some sort of a marketing apparatus within themselves. Why is that someone would like to or come to you, and what is it that they don't have, but you have, abundantly, and that you can advise and do it for them? Help us understand from that point of view, what is it that they do not have and your duct tape marketing has?
Yeah. So, I mean, it is a lot of what I've been talking about. And so when our clients come to us, oftentimes they have a lack of strategy, and they often have a lack of leadership. And so maybe they have 1 or 2 marketers on their team. They're starting to bring in, different AI solutions to try to increase their productivity, but they haven't actually taken the step back to plan out a comprehensive marketing strategy. For us, when we're working with clients, like, every single time we get started, our first 30 days is mapping out a marketing strategy. Our next 30 days is building marketing systems and training their team on actually how to use those systems. And then ongoing from there, we're staying on as marketing leadership in form of like a fractional CMO. So we're guiding their internal marketing team. And so it's not that all we do is strategy. Strategy just drives everything that we do. But what we offer to our clients that don't have these things in place is strategy, AI systems, leadership, and overseeing execution long term.
Absolutely. And what are the expectations of your clients? Do they only focus on the strategy part, or do they focus on the results part? How do you meet those expectations?
Yeah. And so as part of strategy, towards the end of strategy, well, throughout all of strategy, we're talking about marketing budget and expectations and priorities and what would success look like and what we're going to track. And so that is all part of the strategy discussion. And then when we go into long-term retainers with our clients, we set up all of the tracking. And then when we're staying in the fractional CMO seat, we're really tasked with creating the strategic direction moving forward, managing the marketing budget, and managing the marketing and taking ownership of the marketing metrics. And so our clients are expecting us we agree on specific goals that we're working towards, and then they expect us to report back to them on how we're doing and help them understand the metrics, because that's another area we work, again, primarily in the small business space. And so I can't tell you how many small businesses have come to us over the years and said, I don't know if my marketing's working or not. This agency is sending me all these reports and I have absolutely no idea what it means. And so we really lean into educating our clients on what the metrics are actually telling us and helping them understand the metrics. So in the future, they're able to make better decisions when it comes to marketing.
Right. Can't they do it themselves? Will they? Why do they need duct tape marketing? Now that you talked about AI, one can use AI and ask for it. It can look into its business, understand it, all prompts. They can get a strategy for their business. Help us understand what is it that they can get that done through AI, or for the rest of the things they will have to come to you, Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue AI can't create marketing strategy on its own. So I don't think that that's a standalone solution. AI can support strategy creation in a massive way, but you still need humans that understand marketing to guide AI to help with a marketing strategy. So I argue AI cannot replace marketing strategists yet. Maybe eventually that's the direction it's going. But when we're working with clients, over the first 30 days when we're creating the strategy, we're doing things like interviewing their clients to hear their stories. We're interviewing their leadership team to hear their stories. We're capturing all of that. We're transcribing all of that, and then we are putting it into AI to help create messaging based on all of that information. But you still need those humans that have conversations with the business and with the business's clients to really understand what makes that difference, them different and unique, and to understand the big picture, to be able to use AI to help craft things like positioning and content moving forward. So AI is a great solution to help assist with strategy. I also would argue too, when you're moving into the execution phase of marketing, garbage in, garbage out with these different AI systems. And so if you're not setting them up properly in the beginning with the right strategy, and you're not asking the right things when you're doing something like creating a blog post, for example, and then you don't understand what's good content that resonates with your audience to edit on the back end, you're not going to have great results with AI. And so I believe you still need marketing leaders that can understand the overall strategy and can guide it. And then they can understand what we're trying to accomplish from an execution standpoint and guide that as well. I think AI solutions are absolutely incredible. I'm excited that they're here from a marketing standpoint. I think it's helping us do better work, but it's not replacing the human element in marketing.
Absolutely, absolutely. From your point of view, now every business is different. They have their own expectations. They have own way of looking at what you people offer as per your services. But in terms of your understanding of those businesses, what are the challenges that you face with dealing with such businesses day in and day out? Is it that they do not understand the things from a basic point of view, and then it is a very tough thing for you to educate them, or is it something much more different than this?
I mean, there's a lot of challenges in small businesses when it comes to marketing, and that's who we've always worked with over the years, are your true small businesses. And so some of the challenges are capacity. Maybe the business owner is leading the marketing department because they don't have, a marketing leader in place. And maybe that business owner doesn't have a marketing background. They started a business because they were passionate about something, and now all of a sudden they have to learn marketing. So I think that's a common challenge. I also think another common challenge is we've been doing this a long time. The last couple of years, marketing has been shifting and changing at a faster pace than ever before. And so staying up to speed on things, even as a marketer, has been really challenging. And so if you're a small business owner leading your marketing department, trying to keep tabs on the rate of change right now, it's almost impossible. And so it's really exciting times, but I think it's complex times in terms of marketing. Because again, if you're just bringing in these tools and creating more noise and creating more complication within your marketing department, you're going to be in a worse off spot than you were previously. And so that's why, I typically encourage people, if you're listening and you're a small business and you want to lean into different AI solutions into your business, take a breath, slow down, think about them strategically, answer the question of what are we actually trying to accomplish and what role can AI fill, versus thinking about AI as just a task list, something that can accomplish tasks. And so for me, when I started thinking about AI as a strategic partner that can help me with planning, and it can help me with research, and it can help question my thought process, like that's really where I started to see a big impact. And so take a step back and understand like your role and where you need to optimize yourself further, and then start thinking about different AI solutions from there.
Absolutely. So you know a lot about this training of people, especially in marketing, and you do a lot of training around that. In fact, CMOs and all. So all these people, even marketing people, don't they know enough about marketing? Even chief marketing officers, you fractional CMOs also, don't they know enough? Of what is it that you know they do not know, or is it that they know only a bit of it and you track something differently, which aids to their training? Help us understand about that. I thought CMOs are my very fractional CMO. They are very much updated, and that is where companies would need them to to help them grow or do whatever they want to do with such people.
Yeah, so a lot of people, so we, as you said, we've been certifying marketing consultants, fractional CMOs, agencies for the past 16 or so years at this point. And so it's not that they don't know marketing. They know marketing. If they're a fractional CMO or a CMO at a company, they understand marketing. But a lot of times people that join our group, maybe they were a CMO at a company for 10, 15 years, and now they're launching a business for the first time. And so we teach them how to approach and package and price marketing effectively, how to generate new business, how to convert new business, how to support the business once it's there, how to build out a team around them to support. And so a lot of what we teach is our frameworks and our systems and processes for marketing, but they can take, their own background and experience and absolutely put their own spin on it. And we encourage that. But a lot of what we teach, someone like that is then how to build, grow, and scale a business, a marketing business, because yes, they have CMO experience, but a lot of times they don't have running their own business experience. We also work with a lot of agencies as well, where, they have more of the operations and sales part figured out, but unfortunately, a lot of agencies over the years have been more execution based and less strategic based. And so we help a lot of agencies shift if they were more execution and they've been, almost seen as a vendor to their clients, where their clients reach out to them and say, we just need a new website, or we just need content, or we just need you to manage our social media. We help them shift from that role to more, no, actually, we're going to guide all of your marketing and we're going to run all of your marketing. And so again, we're not necessarily teaching this is how to do marketing. We're teaching this is how to run a marketing business based on strategy.
Right. So listening to you, Sara, it looks like marketing is a lot of hard work, lot of work indeed. And this nowadays, last 2-3 years, I've been hearing about this fractional CMOs. Do you think, a fractional CMO is enough for a company, that the owner can leave the company in the hand of a fractional CMO and go on a holiday, say, for a month or two? Is that possible? Is marketing a lot of work? Or is it so only that much that fractional CMO can actually handle it? How do you tell all this about to a small business owner which is scaling fast?
Yeah, it just completely depends on the business and the relationship with the fractional CMO and who the fractional CMO is. I mean, if you really are bringing in a fractional CMO as a business owner and you're treating them as part of your leadership team and you're including them in meetings and you're working with them side by side and you see them as a partner and there's a lot of trust there and they're getting results, then yeah, absolutely. I think going on a holiday and having the fractional CMO you run the marketing department is possible, but you really have to have that relationship and trust built in. The fractional CMO also has to have executors below them, because that's also where I see some people struggle, is they'll bring in a fractional CMO and expect him to be the strategist, but also do all of the execution. And that's too much for one person to do. And it doesn't allow them to stay high level and strategic. So they'll get sucked down into all of the execution. And so it depends on the relationship and all these factors. But if you really need a fractional CMO or a marketing leader who can really be tasked with this higher level stuff, and then you need executors below them that can then handle the execution that they can oversee. And so, yes, if you have the right solution in place, absolutely. But you really have to be careful and set up the relationship and trust to get to that point.
Absolutely. So in a nutshell, what would you like to tell small business owners, especially with regards to strategy, marketing strategy?
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you feel like I actually was speaking at a conference and we did like a bit of a table topic last week, and I talked to the table and I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. Who feels like they have a marketing strategy in place? And there was about 20 people there, and I said a really solid marketing strategy in place now that you know the definition, and literally no one at the table raised their hand. And so if you're feeling the same way, you're not alone. My advice would be take a step back, put in the research, hire an expert if you don't have one on your team that can really lay out the strategy, because it is heavy lifting, but it's the most important work that you can do to set yourself up for long-term success. And then moving forward, after you put the heavy lifting in place, I encourage you to do quarterly strategy planning for your business. And so you're mapping out all of your priorities and focus every single quarter at a time, because marketing is evolving very quickly. And I think planning out beyond that is impossible right now. So put the heavy lifting on the front end, and then on a quarterly basis, come back to your marketing strategy and plan and map out the next quarter. And you'll be in a much better place than you are now if you don't have that in place.
Absolutely. There's much to learn and understand about all this from you, Sara, and I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of businesses would want to connect with you, connect with Duct Tape Marketing. What is the best way for them to do so?
Yeah, so we have a page on our website. It's dtm.world/growth. There's a bunch of free resources there, or our website's just Duct Tape Marketing, or you can find me on LinkedIn. My name is Sara Nay.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.